Hey guys, it's your Blade8304 here, and today I'm reviewing set 71859, The Dragon of Life, 1,050 pieces, 8 minifigs released for $110 on January 1st, 2026. This set is pretty good. It's not as good as some of the other Arc Dragons, Source Dragons that we've got, but it's still pretty good. It's a really solid set. So we're going to take a look at the builds, then we'll take a look at the minifigs later on, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. Moving the box out of the way, we can see the Dragon of Life itself. And this dragon does look really, really good. It has a nice organic color scheme to it, and I think it looks really cool. We're going to take a look at that first. Starting off by just taking a look at the dragon itself, we have a pretty nice looking color scheme. It uses green, bright green, brown, tan, and it all works together very well. The claws are gold. I think that gold adds a nice subtle pop in there as well. Looks pretty good, in my opinion. You'll have to let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. We have the wings, which are made of plastic and not cloth this time, which is a little unfortunate. We'll talk about that here later on. And then we have, spin it around, it has like a weird rock structure, looks like it, on the tail. We'll have to see how that plays out in the show, what the dragon actually looks like when it is on screen. But overall, again, I think this dragon looks really good. The head is also really nice. It has a nice printed piece and then a lower brick-built jaw, which I think is really good that LEGO is continuing to do that. So we'll take a look at the play features of this one. Starting with the lower front legs, you can move the claws, the bottom part of the feet around. It does sit on an angle. It uses a slope piece down there to allow it to sit at that angle, which I think looks really cool. I'm glad they just didn't do it sitting flat on the ground. I think this looks significantly better like this. I wouldn't change it. And then the legs do have some posability. You can move the ball joint for the foot around however you want. And then you can move the legs forward and back and also up and down. There is no posability at the elbow joint on this, unfortunately. It does use that pre-bent piece that I'm not a fan of. But overall, I think it's fine. There's also this translucent bright green piece, which looks absolutely incredible. There are a few more of those in the set we'll get to later on. But I do love this mold and hope it sticks around for a while because I think it looks really cool. The other leg is the same thing, the same brown covering, some dark green and regular green. Overall, legs move forward and back. There are a couple sticker details right here. They're not too important, so if you don't like stickers and want to leave them off, you probably could and be okay. There's also a couple down at the feet. They're just small detail-y bits. Again, not that important. If you don't like stickers, you could just leave them off. And then we'll move the wings out of the way for right now. We'll get to them in a minute. The back legs are similar, but not quite the same. They are mostly light bluish gray and dark bluish gray. You can move the foot in and out. You can move the claws individually if you want. And you can also move the leg forward and back and in and out. Pretty similar in build on both sides. We'll just flip it around and then again forward, back, in and out. It does have a nice range of posability, which is good. I always look for that in a dragon like this because you want it to be posable. You want kids to be able to play with it. So I think LEGO did a good job here. As for the wings, they have a really nice mechanism built into them. There's a couple gears that you want to pull this down and then the wing goes up like that. And you can also rotate this and move it up and down as you wish. It cannot go forward anymore or back anymore. It is stuck at this level, but you can rotate it around and move it up and down slightly. So I think that is really cool. And there's also this other sword that you can move individually, which is just another part of the dragon wing itself. The skeleton for the wings of the dragon doesn't look too terrible. It kind of just blends in. It's hidden. You don't really notice it's there. I wish they would have covered up some of these technic holes. But other than that, it looks fine, and the wing is the same thing on the other side. Pull this lever, the wing goes up, and pull the other way. It just uses a couple of the 8-tooth gears, I believe, to do that, and then this one is just sitting on a Technic pin, and it can move freely. I think these wings do look pretty good. I just wish they would have been cloth. I feel like for a Dragon of Life, it would have had a more organic feel to it if it was cloth instead of plastic. But overall, it's not bad. I like the look of these. I just wish they were cloth. I think the color scheme works really well here, though. As for the tail, it is free swinging, so you don't have to do anything in particular. It just swings by itself. There are ball joints on most of the sections except for this big one here. There are some stickers, just some small detail-y bits, nothing super important. Again, if you don't like stickers, you could leave them off and still be okay. And then the tail, you can spin around. It has all kinds of posability. And then it ultimately leads to a tree branch here with one of those pieces in regular bright green, which I think looks really good, and I hope we see this piece for many, many more years to come. Hopefully they use it in some of the botanical sets. I think that would look pretty cool. The tail has some nice posability, which is always good, and I do wish it could move up and down a little bit further from this joint here, but just to get it to be able to stay in place, I think that's perfectly fine. As for the head and chest of the dragon, the chest is built up using mostly tan, as you would probably expect. This, and then the neck can rotate around. It can go back a little bit, it can go forward, like one more click from where I had it. Not too much posability with the head, unfortunately, but it's not too bad. And then the head is on a ball joint. You can swivel it around as such. You can open the lower jaw, and it has a nice little tongue there. I'm glad they're doing this mix of molded and then brick built. I think it looks really good. It's definitely better than having two molded pieces together. I think it works out really well in this case, and I hope they continue to do that. And then these tree branches for the horns up there, you can't really move them. You can adjust the angles of these, like top parts. But there's not really too much else you can do with the horns on the head. And overall, I think the dragon looks really good. You can have the wings fully splayed out and then rotate them to have them facing forward. Or you can have them just tucked into the body, like I'm probably going to have mine displayed on. Overall, I think this dragon looks really good. It's not quite as good as the other source dragons, but it looks really good. Next up, we have this little earth monster mech. I don't know what the purpose of this will be in the show. It's not released as of the time of recording and posting this, but I think this looks pretty good. It uses mostly dark tan with a little bit of dark bluish gray for the parts that they don't make in dark tan. And it also has black claws on both sides and black toenails. And it also uses some translucent orange, which I think works pretty well here. I like the look of it, and inside there's just a small spot for him to sit down. No control sticks or anything. And it has some nice posability. You can go forward and back with these, display them in and out. Same thing on the other side. The arms also have a good range of motion, which is good. It doesn't use any of those pre-bent pieces, which I do not like. And you can open the claws slightly, not very much, just ever so slightly. But overall, I think this mech looks pretty good, and if they would have sold this as like a $10 set, I would have been okay with it. And now we have the last build of the set, which is the thing you build, I believe, either first or second. I don't quite remember. It's been a few days since I built this. It's just this little shrine thing. We don't know the significance of this just yet. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do. It has these nice green pieces around it, and it encloses the sword of fire for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if the golden weapons are coming back again. No idea. But it's built up pretty nicely. It has some nice rock detailing and some nice foliage pieces around. It uses one of those statue builds that was seen also in the character display. And then there is a little play feature back here. If you spin this gear, it does rotate around. It uses some of those splat gear pieces, I believe is what most people call them. And then this tree up here is just a tree. You can rotate angles of this if you really want to, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Overall, it's a fine little build. Did it need to be here? Probably not, unless it's really significant to the series. Not 100% sure yet. Alright, so the first three minifigures we're going to take a look at are Zane in his non-dragon form. We have a new version of Aaron, and then Sora with a slightly different combination of parts that hasn't been seen before. She uses her spectral suit and then an armor piece that we've seen a couple times. And she uses a half mask and her hair with the headphones built into them. I think these figures look really good. I like the spectral suit for Sora. I like the new suit entirely for Aaron. It uses dark blue as the accent this time as compared to black previously. And then he still uses the same hood piece with the gold horns at the top of it. We still don't know what's going on with that, why they're there. Maybe that'll be explained in Season 4. And then Zane is the same base figure that was used for his dragon form, but just without the dragon bits. Taking a look more closely at the prints with nothing obstructed, I think Aaron's new suit does look really good. I like the dark blue, and then I believe that's dark orange on the opposite side. I think it looks really good for him. Zane uses medium azure arms and has some nice gold printing on his torso, and it continues around the back as well. No alternate face for Aaron still. Sora gets that same alternate face that we've seen before. It's the same head print that we've had, I believe, since she was introduced. And Zane has the same one that has the port in the back of his head, because he is, in fact, an android. So, same face prints, unfortunately, but overall, not bad figures here. Our next two figures are Dragon Form Cole and Dragon Form Lloyd. These two figures are easily the highlight of the set for me, in my opinion. I love these Dragon Form ninjas. I think they look absolutely incredible across all the sets that they've been in this year. They look amazing to me. They use the same tailpiece, they reuse the same color wings, just different colors for each of the ninja. But I think that's perfectly fine. The tails also are in different colors to suit to the ninja's proper color. They look absolutely incredible. I love the dual molded hood and dragon horn concept. I think that looks absolutely incredible. And we'll just turn these around just to get a look of what's going on. The tail is in between their hip and leg, or is in between their torso and leg piece. The wings are just attached using a couple gold clips, which I think is perfectly fine. I think these two figures look absolutely incredible, and I really hope that LEGO sells more of these wing pieces individually on Bricks and Pieces, because I would love to have a bunch of each one. After taking their wings and tail and hood off, we get a better look at the figures themselves. I think they look really good. I like the print detailing going on here with the gold printed on the torsos. Cole uses orange arms, Lloyd's are lime green. His base color is bright green this time, not regular green, which I'm glad they're continuing to use that as his base color. I think that absolutely works for him. It is my favorite of the green shades that LEGO makes. And then their faces are ones we've seen before because they have the visor look on the back with also some nice like dragon scale printing. It's the same thing across most of the ninja, like just varied slightly character to character, but I think that's perfectly fine. These figures still look absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see how this plays out in the TV show. And our final three figures included in the set are, from left to right, Earth Monster, Loyalist Leader, and Acid Monster. These three figures are same ones that we've seen in other sets. The Loyalist Leader comes in the Old Town set, the Earth Monster comes in a few other sets, and the Acid Monster also comes in a few other sets. The Earth and Acid Monster, all three of these are the same variants of that figure. There is no variation there, but I still think they look good, and we still got to take a look at them. I think these figures do look really good. They have some nice printing. I don't know how they'll play out in the series. I am very excited to see that, though. Elemental monsters is something we haven't seen in Ninjago before, so we'll figure out exactly what their purpose is and what they do. But overall, I think these three figures do look pretty good, and we'll take away the Loyalist Leader's weapon. We get a better look at that printed tile piece. Looks pretty good. Just has a weird dragon symbol on it. We don't know, again, what's going on with that. And then we'll take the hood off, and then be prepared for a spoiler when I turn these figures around in 3, 2, 1. If you do not know who that is Dr. LaRoe. She is apparently the Loyalist Leader, so that's interesting. Again, we have no idea where the story is going or how this will play into the plot of Dragons Rising Season 4. We have no information, no trailer as of this point in 2026. But as soon as we find out, I'm sure it'll be interesting. I'm sure the writers and storyboarders know exactly what they're doing with this. Anyway, the figure looks really good, in my opinion. I still think it's a perfectly fine minifig. I do like the printing. The dark red blends really well together with the black. I think it looks absolutely incredible. Earth Monster uses a translucent orange armor piece, which I think looks really cool. And it does use those pieces that he has on the top of his head. He also uses them as like claws, which I think is also really cool. The Acid Monster, the purple and lime green color scheme works really well together for me, in my opinion. Overall, these are a solid group of bad guy figures. I just wish we had a little bit more variation in them. So, after looking at this set more closely, I would say it's a pretty solid set. $110 does feel a little much for this. I wish it would have been like $90 or $80, but that's asking too much these days. I feel like $90 would have been fair. $100 is pushing it, but I still think $100 would have been fine. $110 just feels like $10 too much. The builds in this set are really good. They're easy. It was easy to put together. It was a solid building experience. The figures are absolutely incredible. Easily the highlights of the set, in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like it's missing something. I don't quite know what it's missing, but it's missing something. Also, I'm disappointed by the fact that the wings aren't fabric instead of plastic. I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason for that, but overall, let me know if you're going to get this one in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back with more reviews very soon. This is Jim 8304 signing off. Bye.